He nodded, murmuring, "I do not think I have been followed." But there was anxiety in his tone. He went to the window, drawing the curtains aside slightly and peering carefully out. He started away violently. "There are two men on the opposite pavement. It looks to me—" He broke off and began gnawing at his nails, a habit he had when anxious. The Russian girl was shaking her head with a slow, reassuring action. "They were here before you came. All the same, it looks to me as though they were watching this house." "Possibly," she admitted indifferently. "But then, what of it? Even if they know, it will not be you they will follow from here." A thin, cruel smile came to his lips. "No," he admitted, "that is true." He mused for a minute or two, and then observed, "This damned American. He can look after himself as well as anybody." "I suppose so." He went again to the window. "Tough customers," he muttered, with a chuckle. "Known to the police, I fear. Well, well, I wish Brother Apache good hunting." Olga Demiroff shook her head. "If the American is the kind of man they say he is, it will take more than a couple of cowardly Apaches to get the better of him." She paused. "I wonder—" "Well?" "Nothing. Only twice this evening a man has passed along this street. A man with white hair." "What of it?" "This. As he passed those two men, he dropped his glove. One of them picked it up and returned it to him. A threadbare device." "You mean that the white-haired man is their employer?" "Something of the kind." The Russian looked alarmed and uneasy. "You are sure the parcel is safe? It has not been tampered with? There has been too much talk. Much too much talk." He gnawed his nails again. "Judge for yourself." She bent to the fireplace, deftly removing the coals. Underneath, from amongst the crumpled balls of newspaper, she selected from the very middle an oblong package wrapped round with grimy newspaper, and handed it to the man. "Ingenious," he said, with a nod of approval. "The apartment has been searched twice. The mattress on my bed was ripped open." "It is as I said," he muttered. "There has been too much talk. This haggling over the price. It was a mistake." He had unwrapped the newspaper. Inside was a small brown paper parcel. This in turn he unwrapped, verified the contents, and quickly wrapped it up once more. As he did so, an electric bell rang sharply. "The American is punctual," said Olga, with a glance at the clock. She left the room. In a minute she returned, ushering in a stranger, a big, broad-shouldered man whose transatlantic origin was evident. His keen glance went from one to the other. "Monsieur Krasnin?" he inquired politely. "I am he," said Boris. "I must apologize for the unconventionality of this meeting place, but secrecy is urgent. I cannot afford to be connected with this business in any way." "Is that so?" said the American politely. "I have your word, have I not, that no details of this transaction will be made public? That is one of the conditions of sale." The American nodded. "That has already been agreed upon," he said indifferently. "Now, perhaps you will produce the goods?" "You have the money? In notes?" "Yes," replied the other. He did not, however, make any attempt to produce it. After a moment's hesitation, Krasnin gestured towards the small parcel on the table. The American took it up and unrolled the wrapping paper. The contents he took over to a small electric lamp and submitted them to a very thorough examination. Satisfied, he drew from his pocket a thick leather wallet and extracted from it a wad of notes. These he handed to the Russian, who counted them carefully. "All right?" "I thank you, monsieur. Everything is correct." "Ah," said the other. He slipped the brown paper parcel negligently into his pocket. He bowed to Olga. "Good evening, mademoiselle." "Good evening, Monsieur Krasnin." He went out, shutting the door behind him. The eyes of the two in the room met. The man passed his tongue over his dry lips. "I wonder, will he ever get back to his hotel?" he muttered. By common accord, they both turned to the window. They were just in time to see the American emerge into the street below. He turned to the left and marched along at a good pace without once turning his head. Two shadows stole from a doorway and followed noiselessly. Pursuers and pursued vanished into the night. Olga Demirov spoke.